Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11 we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
All right. That's right. We're starting it off again because it has been less than 24 hours. I'm going to do a moment of silence for Uncle Bob. Thank you, everyone. Uncle Bob was born January 5th, 1949, and he passed away January 23rd of 2026 at 5:30 a.m. Thank you, MDE. Good to see you, brother. And look at this. We got Will Vogel, and we got Nick Burton in the house again. It's good to see you, Nick. I'm gonna call him Nick Goff. I'm gonna call him Nick Goff. Show him why.
Lions Goff, Josie.
Nice.
So I want to go back to 5 years ago, because this week, 5 years ago, on a Friday, after we heard on Wednesday that we were going to hire Robert Salah, that we hired Dan Campbell 2 days later. And that was because of Salah making that stupid comment on a nighttime interview in San Francisco when he went home. And they said, what would you do if you got the job to be the coach of the Detroit Lions? He goes, I would walk barefoot back to Michigan to coach Matt Stafford. He didn't say the Lions, he said Matt Stafford. And the front office already knew Matt wanted out.
Yep.
So they went with their next best choice. And the football minds that Sheila Ford Hamp, who removed Ford from her name because she wants to be as far away from the WCF stuff as possible, let them make the decision, and they chose Dan Campbell. And Lions fans loved and hated that speech at the same time. They loved the idea of having the attitude, fighting when you get up. They hated the kneecap biting thing. They called him a meathead. This is going to be a horrible hire. We should have just hired Salah. Salah has a second head coaching gig now. He's already been fired from one. Everybody other than LaFleur doesn't have a job with their team anymore that was hired that year.
Hi, Michael Edwards.
That's hilarious, Michael Edwards.
Yeah. Then we brought in Anthony Lynn. I had reservations about that. I knew he might be a run first OC, but my God, I didn't realize he would be that bad as an OC.
Yeah, wasn't he OC with Buffalo?
He was head coach of Buffalo. I knew he was a bad head coach. I just thought he'd be a good offensive coordinator because he had head coaching experience to help Dan grow into the role of a head coach. I thought it would work. It didn't. They got in a fight after week 9. They stripped him of his play calling duties. And unlike these podcasters and radio announcers and stuff that says, we fired Lynn mid-season. No, we didn't. We did the exact same thing with him we did with John Morton. We stripped him of his play calling duty. And it was announced that Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson would be calling plays together. At the end of the 2022 season, or that season in 2021, before the 2022 season, you're like, I wonder who our offensive coordinator we're going to bring in. He promoted Ben Johnson from within. Robbie, good to see you, brother. From one jackwagon to another, you jackwagon.
Yes. I think that promotion, we'll discuss it after you go through the 10.
So, Lions fans question it again. Then we heard he was working with Goff to build a better playbook for him and all this good stuff. And for the first 8 games, because we had the bye week in between there, it looked awful. Hey, Paul, I'm calling it like it is. And the fans started to turn. We should fire Ben Johnson. We should fire Dan Campbell because we went 1-7 the first 8 games. Lo and behold, we went 8-1 or 7-1. With one of those weeks beating the Packers in their house in week 18 to knock them out of the playoffs because we already knew the Seahawks won. Martin was saltier than a 3-day-old bagel out of a deli in Oak Park. Oh, that's funny. So the next 2 years we were very successful. Yeah, I know. I am too. 12-5, 15-2. We thought everything was great. The 2024 draft, less than desirable, but 4 out of 8 picks. And the 4 that are on this roster have all either been a Pro Bowler or All-Pro. Kirby Joseph, All-Pro. Jameer Gibbs, All-Pro. Jack Campbell, Pro Bowler. Brian Branch, All-Pro. In that 2023 draft, excuse me. The 2024 draft, Terrion Arnold looked like he was developing into a hell of a corner before he hurt his shoulder. Ennis Rakestraw, we still don't know what he has because he has yet to take an in-season snap. So that is an incomplete grade. Baki, special teams. Manu, project player. Wingo looks all right. We don't know for sure until he gets healthy. And Mahogany, who was our starting left guard that looked way better than either one of the backups that played in his position this year. That's not saying much. I might have played better than some of the backups that played this year. They were awful. Let's face it. Trisha Cologne, Yodi Awasika, they can kick rocks. They're both free agents this year. I don't want them. And then we come in, we hear Mike Daniels is fired and coming in for an interview, and then we hear he's not a fit. And they hired Drew Petzing on Monday after going through 7 or 8 interviews last week. I think they interviewed McDaniels twice. 7 different coaching interviews throughout that week for 7 different people. My mailbox would have done better at times versus the Lions centers in situations. Yeah, 100%. And I still think that was our biggest problem because if you look, we only averaged a point better with Campbell. He had our second highest score of the year versus Washington, which unless you're the Eagles or Giants, everybody scores 30+ points on the Washington Red Foreskins this year. Commanders, Foreskins, Redskins, whatever you want to call them. So I'm not poo-pooing the coaching staff. Here's the thing. He said he wasn't a fit. And he left it at that because it is not good for Dan Campbell to talk ill. 2 days later, after we hire Petzing, we hear McDaniels is the OC of the Chargers. But then it comes out today he's still going to interview with the Bills and Raiders for head coach. So in all actuality, that's where the fit ended. Are you going to be here at least the whole year? I don't know. I might not even be here for training camp. See ya. So
You have to have
I
full
would love
commitment.
OC until he isn't. Right. So here comes Petzing, a guy that had 6 interviews last year for head coaching jobs that were available. I know, Paul. Here's what I like about Petzing, and now we're going to get into that. And I just to educate you. Yes, he runs RPOs, but he runs RPOs whether it's a mobile quarterback or not because he uses his RPOs in play action passing. That's why the Cardinals had a 7th in passing yardage and touchdown. Murray and Brissett. Brissett, who had the lion's share, because let's face it, he played more than Murray this year because Murray was more worried about modern warfare than getting help.
Yep.
When he had a healthy running back room the 2 years prior, which means he was an OC with the Kingsbury as well as Josh Gannon. Josh Gannon didn't even make it 3 years. Remember, he's only been there 2. And I don't think he should have made it 2. I think they should have got rid of him last year as bad as they were. Modern warfare stuff. I hear you. Right. An RPO is a run pass option. And we ran RPOs with Ben Johnson, and people forget about that. Every time it looked like Goff was getting ready to run, he'd pitch it back to Monty or pitch it back to Gibbs or pitch it back to a tight end or pitch it to J-Mo or pitch it to Amon-Ra St. Brown or throw it down the field. We did all of that. Heck, the one time it was a weird one where he RPO'd one way, tossed it to Tom Kennedy, ran the other way, and they hit Khalif Raymond for a 75-yard pass from Tom Kennedy in 2021 before Ben Johnson was drawing up plays. Anyone remember that play? That was like the longest play of the season on offense, 75 yards versus the Minnesota Vikings. Won the game for us because we went 3-2-1 in our last 6 games that year. So all I'm saying is when they say trust the process, that's what they're talking about. Jacoby Brissett couldn't outrun Nick Curtin in the 40, but he ran the Dr. Alva Evil. Would you pick? Amen. That's where I'm at.
I can't run that fast.
Yeah, but look at what was in the other than Trey McBride. Marvin Harrison Jr. has not panned out so far after 2 years. Other than that, and they had 3 injuries on the old line. They had 4 injured running backs, 5 once they got to Michael Carter as a starter. They were decimated with injuries too. But you know what they had? An awful defense the entire season. That defense couldn't stop a cold.
True.
So I'm going to trust Brad and Dan that they made the right decision in hiring Drew Petzing. That's what it all boils down to. And I think some of us fans need to get out of that SOL mentality. I agree with that. Marvin Harrison Jr. probably does need a change of scenery. But I think he was overrated because of his name and going to overrated state university.
Mm-hmm. And I agree
There
with
we
what you.
go. Jim Ricardo was putting up boxes of Campbell's soup and Dollar General before the Arizona Cardinals running back injuries. That's a great one. Um, so all I'm saying is, fans, give them the benefit of the doubt. Amen, Robbie. Overrated State University.
Yep.
Oh, fourth on the list is Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. I'm watching it
So
over here off to the side.
I agree with your assessment, JV. Like Brad and Dan know what they're getting, and trust them because it's freaking the GM, and you got the freaking head coach. Those guys know football, so yeah, I trust their decision making too.
Right now, with the way he's playing, I'd make him wide receiver 4 because I think Tesla's more consistent. That's just
That's
me.
true.
That being said, thank you. I just trying to. He has football genes, MHJ. Yeah, or are they Levi's or are they Wrangler and sold at Walmart? That's what we're trying to figure out.
Probably
'Cause
Wrangler.
he plays more like his mom than his dad so far.
Yep.
Oh, come on now. That was a joke.
Hey,
Nice.
Jeremy,
Yeah,
did you hear that they're wanting to make the games to 18 games?
they've been talking about that for a while, but the current CBA doesn't end till 2030. Oh, I would too if we still had Antoine Randall as our wide receivers coach.
Mhm.
Scotty Montgomery did a good job doing both roles, but we also saw more drops this year than last year. So I I'm just saying he plays more like his mom than his dad, and his mom did not play NFL football.
Nope.
He does not block in the run game. Oh, Megan Kroger usually does the Wednesday night thing, but remember she was doing her trip to be in that play. It's JB mom versus dad. I'm just saying he plays like he's not that great of a football player. Fuck all Ohio teams. There you go. That's
Yeah.
that Pittsburgh guy we love. But I'm just saying, let's give it a chance. Now, what was great was I watched a podcast today, and I put the short in the chat. I don't know if you watched it, Will. Chris Long, son of Howie Long, said what the Lions did to Ben Johnson is diabolical. Drew Petzing is one of Ben Johnson's best friends. He was a groomsman at his wedding.
Oh my God.
He just made one of his best friends his mortal enemy at his job.
That is going to be a fun game to watch. Just them eyeing each other on the sideline and be like, son of a.
Yep, this coaching carousel where these coordinators leave teams after 1 to 2 years disrupt the. Yes, it does, and that's what we were dealing with. We had a chemistry disruption, offensively, defensively. The only guy that's still here coaching on this team is Dave Phipps, and I'll tell you what, it's a guy that deserves a head coaching shot, but I don't want him to get it. I want him to be here as long as possible. Seriously? Dr. Evil will come back to torch Ben Johnson. Love it. Well, as good as the Bears were, you know what they can't say? They can't say they beat the Lions this year.
It's true.
The first place team in the division had the worst division record at 2-4.
They did.
Oh, it did. 100%. And Shepard is coming back. He did not get the job at the Dolphins. It went to Halfley of the Packers. who looked like they finally had a good defensive coordinator there.
Yep.
You're not wrong. So that's where we're at. We're on the wait and see what this offense looks like next year. I'm at the, as soon as they say that they're going to be doing the free tickets, that Tuesday morning, I'm going to be sitting online ready to roll to get my ticket for the free days. And I'm probably going to do 4 for each.
For
They
what?
do 3.
Practice?
Yeah, training camp.
Okay.
Because they do 3 days throughout that month that is free to the public.
Nice.
They have the VIP section where you actually get numbered seats and you're assigned them where you're guaranteed to get like at least a chance to get an autograph and stuff like that. I don't care. I thought it was pretty great that I ended up getting Eric Hippel's autograph the last time I was there with the lady that goes by Grandma Chase in the chat.
Nice.
Oh, I know. Because I'll tell you what, losing Frank Ragnall, that hurt the O-line more than anything. He was the captain of the O-line. He called out the protection. He would change the protection at the line with a signal from Goff. It could be as simple as a fake sneeze, and he'd say, "Oh, I got the wrong mic set up," or whatever. And if you guys don't know what the mic is, Mike linebacker. In other words, the rush linebacker, the one that's coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see that. That communication was not on this O-line for 90% of the season.
Correct.
Yet we somehow managed with this roster and a poor O-line to have the quarterback throw for, what was it? 2nd in yardage, 2nd in touchdowns, tied in the top 10 for lowest amount in interception. I'm with you. They didn't. The over-under was 10.5 games. They expected us to win the division too. Because if you hit the over, that's 11 games, right?
Yep.
But after he retired, it lowered by 1. It went to 9.5 immediately.
Yep.
So, there we are. We're caught up. I wanted to get that out. And I love the fact that Chris Long thinks it's diabolical that we took Ben Johnson's best friend and made him a mortal enemy at his job, because it may ruin a friendship in the long run. We have seen stuff like this before. Guys that were friends are no longer friends. I notice how Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell seem to respect one another anymore, but they don't say nice things.
Yep. That's going to happen this year with Petzing and Johnson.
It is what it is. We are not horrible. We are not a horrible team. Think about it. If Dallas didn't get that tie with the Packers at 40 points, which was their best game of the season, Minnesota would have been second place in this division. It would have been a complete flip. It'd have been us and the Packers sitting at home twiddling our thumbs, and it'd have been Minnesota versus the Bears. Frank did us dirty, but in 2026, the Lions will be dancing with the trophy. Seriously, this schedule ahead, plus Dr. Evil, plus fixing fixing the O-line means we get to celebrate like it's 19. Amen. That's where I'm at. We need to fix the O-line. And I don't care if we start our rookies or not. We may have to plug in vets for a year on the O-line. Guys like Ethan Posick, Cade Mays, maybe Jonah Williams from the Cardinals, who's having, or the other center that's going to be coming off of the Cardinals O-line. Somebody familiar with Drew Petzing's blocking scheme and the way he does tape, the way he calls plays to teach everybody. I mean,
Yep.
I've heard worse ideas. God, let a guy sit and develop instead of making him start his first year. What a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hey, they both did a lot for each other. Number one, Dan Campbell gave him a shot to be a coordinator. He ran with it, but he also learned tendencies from Dan Campbell too. Right. They emulated each other. And we saw that in the playoffs. Because guess what? If Ben the Gambler Johnson, since everybody wants to call him Dan Gamble instead of Dan Campbell, if Ben the Gambler Johnson doesn't go for it in the red zone 3 times on 4th down and fail in both games, guess what? They'd have won both games running away. That never would have went to overtime.
Yep.
9 points off the board. We've heard Bears fans tell us on Wednesday night, just take the points, Dan. Then he defended it when his coach did it. But the analytics, you know what? Dan Campbell followed. I get it, Paul. That's what I was getting at. Ben Johnson gambled away their postseason success. He got lucky that they were playing the Packers week 1 because the Packers defense was just about as beat up as the Lions. Should have, could have, but we didn't. Why? Poor O-line play. Yeah, it's funny. Somebody said that Campbell didn't run any trick plays through the last 8 weeks that he coached. And I was like, did you not watch? Amen. And the other thing that Arizona was very good at this year that nobody realizes, and the Lions sucked at it, 3rd down conversion. Arizona bitched and complained how boring Petzing's offense was. Run, RPO, pass. Run, RPO, pass. Why are you bitching if you're getting a 48% or better 3rd down conversion rate? Good enough for middle of the league. We weren't.
Yep.
We did last year we had a league high at 72% 3rd down conversion rate and 65% 4th down conversion rate. This year we were less than 30% in both. So that O-line had a lot to do with it. A lot.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. So it's also happy 5th anniversary week for Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes.
Yep.
2 days ago, it was the 5th anniversary of signing Dan Campbell. Today's the anniversary of signing Brad Holmes.
Uh-huh.
And it's the last year of their contract. The last year.
Uh-huh.
This could be a put up or shut up year. And if the Petzing hire blows up in our face, I don't know if we bring back either one of them.
Yeah.
And that's not being mean. That's not being rude. That's business.
Yeah.
We've had 6 years of that continuity of the front office with Dan Campbell. and Jared Goff after this year. So restructure Goff, restructure Aleem. The people who think that Amon-Ra deserves to be restructured, yeah, since 2022, he's had 30 or 2024, excuse me, in the last 3 years. Let's not even go back 2022 or 2021. 2021 shouldn't count, even though he had 9 when he wasn't even used until Dan Campbell took over playing. I know, Paul. I don't want to imagine it either. What is it that Dom Durubus said year 1 on my podcast? Till the wheels fall Goff. As long as we have Jared Goff, he wants Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell here. And I agree. Ain't that right, Nick Goff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, are you guys interested in doing a mock draft tonight to close out the show?
Sure, why not? We can do all
Why?
lines.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to make Mike's night. I went 2 days without doing it on the morning show, so mock time.
Are we accepting trades or no?
We might. There's 2 offers, and I don't like. Ooh, wait a minute. That's 2 third-round picks, a second, plus next year's second. But Caleb Lomu's right there. But he's the one. Let me get out of that. There's Proctor. Don't see Francis Mawagawa. So he must have just went a little bit ago. There's Akeem Matador. There's Reuben Bain. Mawagawa went 5th. Wow, the Browns did something smart. What the hell?
Wow, look at the Jets taking Jeremiah Love number 2.
I don't blame him. Brees Hall is not the answer.
I agree.
Yeah. Who do you like better? Caleb Lomu? Or Caden Proctor?
Dang. Both are so good. I like Proctor, but Lomu's
I know.
good too.
Right. And he's ranked higher now because Caden Proctor, because of those 2 bad games in the playoffs, has fallen.
Yep.
Let's do it. Let's go with the one that's ranked where we're picking.
Yep, I agree.
Oh, I am not trading with Dallas. Now that's interesting. 61. 61. That means they don't make the playoffs. Seahawks win. We give up our last pick in the 7th to get a 3rd, and we drop back still in the 2nd. Would you take that trade, guys?
I would.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck? What? Don't say that first one ever again.
Mock me, Daddy. Let me say it the way it should be said.
Mock me, Daddy.
Oh God.
Yeah, we're gonna take this trade. I like the idea of having that late 2nd round pick and then the 3rd.
Yep.
Here we go. We're back up. I don't like that trade. So, Gerald Jackson. Oh, I was like, what? Ooh. Where'd the echo come from all of a sudden? Danny Dennis Sutton, edge, 6'4", 266. Was productive across from the top 3 draft pick Abdul Color in 24, amassing 8.5 sacks at 25. He echoed that production, but had 1 less tackle for loss, taking over games in motor. And that's because the rest of the defense kind of sucked butt more. So he was kind of the focal point. So in run defense and pursuit, I think we're going to get our edge here.
Yep. I like him a lot too.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't go down at all. LT Overton was available. Now,
Ooh,
look who
Zune
went at
fell.
Zune went up because they made him a
Oh, right.
center. But you see who's gone here.
Yeah.
Logan Jones is gone. Trying to see where he went. Connor Lew went 67. He went before. Oh, there he went, right there. Damn, that's a good pick, Seahawks. So it looks like I have to go with the next best one to me, which is Parker Brailsford.
Yep.
That way we get teammates on the offensive line.
Oh God.
Speaking of Browns, no one wants to coach them. Like, oh yeah, I know. It's hilarious. They should just promote Jim Schwartz. And then we can start calling him Jim Shorts again. All right, at 118, we got our edge, we got our OC, we got our OT. It says OG is needed. Let's look at Keelan Rutledge.
Is the I thought it was Tate Ratledge. I was like, what are my eyes deceiving me again?
Rutledge. Okay, that didn't look that good. So let's go here. Lewis Moore, the guy that played opposite Jalen Kilgore, but he's tiny. I like tiny boys. 6'2" and 185. 6'3", 210. Yeah,
That's
like
more
it.
like it.
But 6'1" and 225. Jack Kelly. 6'2", 242 out of BYU. God, Barton's gone too. Damn it. Corners. Traden Stoops. He's moved up.
Yeah.
6'1". Yeah, I think this is where we get our corner boys.
Yep.
At 155. Please, God, be there. Okay, I didn't see him go. I can still get this guy.
Yep.
And our last pick will be at 203.
I wonder who picked Carson Beck just for the hell of it.
Ooh, it won't be our last pick. Look at that.
I like it.
Ooh, I think I'm taking that. All right, now we can get
Ooh, Nicole.
Kendall
Kendall.
Daniels.
Yep. I like him too because he's a product of Venables
Yep.
defense.
This guy's still here, 6'1" and 205. I think we're gonna have to sign one and draft one of these guys. And one of the ones I would sign, I wouldn't even think about it because you wouldn't have to give him a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I would go ahead and grab. Okay, so we got Jamarian Miller, who's 5'10" and 220. I just like this guy. When I read his scouting report online, it reads a lot like David Montgomery's coming out of Illinois State. So
Yep.
I'm bringing him in. And there he is. This is my guy that I've been reading a lot about, and I heard he interviewed with John Gruden. 6'5" and 240 pounds.
That's a big boy.
He's an athlete at his size with a live arm, elite arm elasticity, arm angle flexibility, and off-platform freedom. On top of his strong physical foundation, Strand has shown he can ID coverages quickly through progressions, through his trigger, and be a bit faster still. He's capable of operating both in structure and on the move at a high level. Strand has still room to clean up his mechanics, and get more comfortable at faster paced defenses, but he has very real upside and worth banking on in the middle rounds.
Yep.
Because I do think Montgomery's gone.
Yeah. I just wonder where.
I think he'll be traded.
People think Dowdle's going to be gone. Dowdle's
Yep,
upset with
I've
the
heard that too.
Panthers.
But yeah, because he wanted to be paid after he had a great year. You guys got to the playoffs, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, and we didn't use him enough in the playoffs.
Seeing if there's anybody in here that I know and like.
Or if there's any Clemson guys.
I saw one, but he was tiny boy. Moved right on.
Yep.
Nope. Let's go defense, edge. No. Topeka, Michigan. Never heard of it. There he is, Xavier Wampa,
Yep.
a Nigerian safety. We'll go there. So I ended up with 9 picks. I gained 1, but I had a pick in every round.
Yep.
What do you guys think?
I like it.
I like it.
I think we're going to need a backup quarterback to develop because just saying. All right, let's get this little view. I know Logan Jones does not like it. Cleveland will pick Beck more than likely. Beck, LOL. Paul deserves to be picked. The lingerie league. I know he was picked early. I can't help it that he got picked in the second round. I didn't expect it, but I probably should have looked at the rankings before I made that pick at 61.
When does the draft guide normally come out, Jeremy? April, right? Early?
March, because the combine's done by March. April is the draft.
What one do you recommend getting? Because I'm probably gonna get one this year.
I like Lynn's, like Bill Steele's. Either one of those are fine. They have more players in them, more player backgrounds to read up on, a little deeper. They get into sleepers, surefires, and all that. And they both do pretty good at that.
Cool.
So let's get this loaded up so we can actually read it. I'm gonna say Parker Brailsworth is not. Oh, I'm hooked in it. I'm hooked on Logan Jones too. If I'd have looked and saw he was ranked that high, he'd have been a lion, brother. 100%. That being said, here we go. Caleb Lomu, Danny Dennis Sutton, Parker Brailsford, Traden Stoops, Deshaun Singleton, Kendall Daniels, Mike Washington, Jack Strand, and Xavier Mwaka. The only thing I didn't grab was another guard, because everybody forgets we still got Frazier. Everybody forgets that we still got Manu, who was taking snaps at guard as a project player and was practicing behind Dan Skipper to be the swing tackle. I see that. I love you, MD, man. You're great. Now I think I'm gonna start emailing Lions PR department my scouting reports.
You should.
What's it gonna hurt? Maybe I get offered a job. I get offered that job. I damn sure ain't slinging tires anymore and working out in the cold.
Right? Oh,
What do you think, MDE? Should I be sending my scouting reports to Allen Park?
it wouldn't hurt.
Because I do put strengths and weaknesses in there. I don't sugarcoat it. I think Francis Mawagawa is the best tackle this draft, and if he doesn't go in the top 10, GMs are stupid.
Yep.
And I think he's a better prospect than Reuben Bain at edge. Because this edge draft is Reuben Bain, Akeem Messidor, and everybody else.
Yep. Oh,
Thank you. I take that as a big compliment because I know that you are an author. I think you've read. I know I've sent you many things. I sent you a couple more.
yep. I agree,
By,
MD.
I sent you a couple more by email, MDE, to be able to. They're soon going to be posted on the South Florida Tribune because with all of our teams being out of the playoffs, the Bucks didn't get there, the Dolphins didn't get there, the Jags got there and got bounced first round. The Packers got bounced first round. And of course, our Lions, we got bounced versus the Rams, as far as I'm concerned. Everybody says it was the Packers game that knocked us out. No, it was the Rams game.
Mm-hmm.
But just think that catch on the goal line in the Rams game.
Yeah.
That hurt us. The one that they called a touchdown for Colby Peskin.
Yep.
Wow. I'll take that as a compliment because you're a published author.
Dang. Yeah. I like JB's writings too, MDE.
Well, guys, what do you think? What do you think of the draft there, Nick?
A plus.
I don't like saying A plus when it's pre-combine. If anything more than a B plus, I think it's overrating it. I mean, it was solid. I didn't get the guy I wanted. Logan Jones wasn't there, so I'm going to give it a solid B.
Same. Mm.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This has been another episode of the Lions Fan Cave Chat. Let's see. I've done 8 shows a week since January 11th. And I think that was, no, wait. I forgot it was New Year's Eve. It's been 4 weeks. 4 weeks and 2 days since New Year's Eve, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's next week. It's been 3 weeks and 2 days. So that's 23 days. Divide that by 7. That's 3 weeks. This is episode 2023
Nice.
on Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions page. God knows how many shorts I'm doing because I've put anywhere from 3 to 6 up per show. And I still think it's great that the part that I talked about with Drew Petzing yesterday and what he did with Jacoby Brissett and put that out there, that one short alone hit 3,400 views in less than 18 hours.
That's crazy awesome.
And I want to thank everybody for offering me their condolences and everything for Uncle Bob. May he rest in heaven. Fly high, sir. That's him there in the background. That infectious smile you see there. Standing behind my Aunt Beth. Standing behind my sister Judy. That's my mom with her arm around me. Us sitting on the bench. outside of the Applebee's of Midland, Michigan, when I lived up in Bay City. That was 2019. Look, there's not a gray in the beard. Not
Nope.
one. So in other words, I was much younger.
Amen. MD.
Thank you. And Nick, anything you want to say to the Lions fans before you head out tonight?
Go Lions.
Amen. Well,
The same slogan as Jeremy says at the end of every show. Keep it to heart, guys. It's true.
try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. I'm not saying you have to like their opinion, but you have to respect it. Because everybody's entitled to one, whether you think so or not. That's the only thing we're entitled to. I want to thank each and
Thank
every
you,
one of you.
Michael Edwards.
Have a blessed evening. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the conference championship games. Enjoy the award ceremony. And don't forget, Jack Campbell, Captain Jack, is Butkus Award winner this year. And I want to stress this because it's best linebacker in NFL and college football for this award. And it's finally being given out at the NFL level. What's crazy about that is his last year at Iowa, he won the Butkus Award. As a senior at Iowa. I think it's the first time it's been won in college and pro by the same player.
That sounds right. Yep.
I'm going to do research and I'll let you know if I'm right Monday because I think that's amazing.
Yep.
But have a great night, everybody. Peace, love, and chicken grease.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.